Hey everyone, this is Pastor Paul with some thoughts on weddings and banquets and husband points. Now, you may think I'm crazy, but I enjoy weddings. Now, guys, don't check out on me just yet. Stick around and you might learn something about how you can turn weddings into husband points as well. Now, as a pastor, I have participated in and been invited to attend many weddings over the years. I enjoy the expressions of love. I enjoy some of the more traditional elements like the processionals and the scripture readings. I also enjoy some of the newer creative elements that are being added as well. And I enjoy holding my wife's hand during the exchange of vows. Reminds us of the vows that we took over 25 years ago. Hint, guys, there's an example of a way that you can turn weddings into husband points. Now, recently, Jill and I attended the wedding of the daughter of a dear friend in church. And at the banquet after the wedding, we were privileged to be able to sit with and talk with many of the friends and family of the bride's side. Now, you can learn a lot about your friends by sitting with their family at the banquet after the wedding. For example, we learned that our friend still has a rock collection that he started when he was a kid on his uncle's farm. And we learned lots of other interesting anecdotes as well, which we won't share here. But I did observe some things that I do want to share here. Things like love and laughter and joy and acceptance and thanksgiving and faith. You know, there's an awful lot of good things that can happen when two great families are united by the love of two of their children. In a word, community. I mean, isn't that what community should look like? I mean, these are attributes that I think most of us long for. We want a place where we can be accepted. We want to love and be loved. And who couldn't use more laughter and joy in their lives? And who doesn't want a place characterized by faith and thanksgiving? You know, I thought about it. The Bible tells of a day when all of the redeemed will gather in God's kingdom. And Jesus described it as a wedding banquet. You can check it out in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 14. You know, and I thought as I read this passage that, God could have chosen any venue for us to be gathered in. Jesus could have pictured us as being gathered in a great auditorium, waiting in hushed anticipation for the King of Kings and Lord of Lords to appear. I mean, he could have pictured us as floating on the clouds of heaven, strumming little harps. He could have pictured us in a dewy meadow, frolicking through the tulips. But instead, he says it's like a wedding banquet. And this tells me something important about Jesus. It tells me that Jesus is interested in an eternal community, an eternal place where love is expressed, an everlasting place where people are filled with laughter and joy, a place where everyone is accepted forever. Jesus wants a great community. And if this is what God is going for all eternity, how much more should his children express these things right now? You know, sometimes it can seem pretty dark in our culture. It seems that most everywhere you look, there are expressions of hate and anger, of despair and rejection, and of conceit and arrogance. It can be discouraging at times. However, it's against that background how great is the light of a church family that loves one another, that finds joy in being with one another, and that is thankful to God for each other, and that accepts each other as Christ accepts us. So may our community at church be a great reflection of the community that Jesus is planning for all eternity. I'm Pastor Paul, and I'm wishing you love and acceptance and joy and laughter and thanksgiving and faith.